Fields of cornstalk residue traditionally remain after each harvest. A study has now determined that harvesting of these cornstalks could provide an effective feedstock supply for future bioprocessing projects in Ontario and Quebec. This study is based on 2 years of consultation with farmers, equipment suppliers, and other stakeholders in the value chain.
I'm pleased to be here today to comment towards the partnership that the Ontario Federation of Agriculture and La Co-op Fédérée have been able to pull together here to look at the issue of bioprocessing of crop residues. This is an option that is coming forth for the bioeconomy, but will require the full supply chain to be engaged. In this exercise, we've had the opportunity to look the world over in finding the technologies that need to come to Ontario and Quebec. Most of these have come from Iowa, and again, our role as the Ontario Federation of Agriculture and La Co-op Fédérée is to examine the options for farmers, but ensure the value chain as a whole finds value in this bioprocessing opportunity.
For the past 2 years, we've been working on the harvest of cornstalk to support the bioprocessing industry, where I'm quite excited with the results that we've obtained to date, as we've been able to demonstrate that using the best of the farm equipment, machineries available, using this equipment, we can harvest efficiently in Ontario. This will provide us an opportunity to get into rural jobs to support the bioeconomy. Over the next year, we will be continuing to work with farmers, harvesting cornstalk both in the fall and the spring in order to validate all of our protocols and to make sure that producers can produce at the quality expected by bioprocessors. Once the project has been completed, I hope that we will be at the stage where we have attracted 1 or 2 investments into southwestern Ontario to process cornstalk. This will create quality jobs both in the rural setting as well as industrial jobs.
We've been harvesting cornstalks for around 15, 16 years for our own use, for mostly bedding a livestock. We do it in the fall and in the spring. And as you see behind us, there's corn growing, what we'll be combining this fall. These cornstalks have been harvested in the spring. They're down to 10% moisture, they're nice and dry, good to store inside, make perfect bedding. In the fall, it's sometimes hard to get it the right moisture, and it's not that ideal to store inside. We've acquired a lot of equipment over the last few years, so we can do it all ourselves. We're merging the cornstalks. We also bought flail mowers. We also bought a chopping head just to get it easier to process. It's fairly hard to process, especially in the fall. It's hard on equipment. We started harvesting about 15, 16 years ago. Combined last fall and the spring, we probably produced about off 2,000 acres corn stover or corn stalks. We ended up probably 5,000, 6,000 bales. And it just seems to keep growing. People want to get the corn stover off the field just to dry it off in the spring better and just have better quality beans to grow, or just makes farming easier.
In November of 2014, there was a field of corn here, and it was an excellent field of corn. Turned out nearly 200 bushel to the acre, and we got involved in the bio business of taking the corn stalks off, and that happened then. And today, you can see what we got here for a field of soybeans on July the 30th. This is a no-till field, and you can just see what the level of the beans is. They're up nearly to my pockets, and this is where the stalks were, about 70% of the stalks were removed, and the rest of the field, the stalks were left, and these here came up a couple of days ahead of the ones in the complete no-till stalks. And on July the 30th, there's still a few days ahead of those in the corn stalks. And the other thing is, in October, November, we will do a yield check on what was taken off with the corn stalks and what was left, and then late November I should know exactly where I am. Would I do this again? Yes, I would, because it just made it so much easier planting into where about 30% of the corn stalks were left. The corn that we're getting today, the stalks are much tougher and more fiber, and it becomes a challenge in complete no-till. So I look forward to continue to do experiments, and we will make this work.